everyone, welcome to Legacy IAS. Today we'll be starting with cubes and dices. Okay, dices is a fairly small chapter that we'll see later. Right now we'll start with cubes. Okay, now see, cubes, this is, let's say, cube like this. So this is a cube. Correct? This is a cube. Now, how many corners or vertices does a cube have? How many? Think. So it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So clearly number of corners is equals to 8. Now ये सब बेसिक है, जल्दी जल्दी बढ़ेंगे. अगला एजेस कितनी है? तो एजेस मतलब ये सारी जो लाइंस है ना, इन्हें एजेस कहते हैं. ठीक है, तो एजेस कितनी है अगर आप देखें तो 1, 2, 3, 4. ये तो हो गई ऊपर वाली सतह पर. ओके, सो दिस इज एट द टॉप लेयर एंड 1, 2, 3, 4. This is at the bottom level. Okay, so 8. These are 8, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 more. So total number of edges came out to be 12. Okay, now last thing is number of faces. Faces means this. For example, when you play Ludo, na, you get different number on the top of it. Correct? That you say that I got 1, I got 2, I got 3, like that. So those are called faces. So this is, for example, a face. So how many faces does it have? It has 6 faces. Now, not a very good word, but they use it sometimes, is sides. Okay, so faces only are called sides also, and there are 6 of them. Okay, so this is the basic about cube. Now, the questions that are asked from this chapter are of a very specific type. So basically what they do, they take a large cube and then they cut it into several smaller cubes. Okay, for example, they will take a cube that is 5 centimeter in length, 5 centimeter in breadth, 5 centimeter in height. That is a big cube, correct? And now then they will cut this cube. For example, this you have seen. If you see in that reel in which there is one guy who has one butterscotch, okay, brick of ice cream, and then what he is doing, he is cutting it. So he is first cutting it like this in slices, then like this in this direction, and then finally like this. Okay, so ultimately he is getting those small cubes. Then he was putting wooden sticks in them to get a kulfi like thing out for all the people. Okay, so this is what he is doing. Same thing UPSC also does when they are asking you questions. That is, they take a large cube and then they cut it into very smaller cubes of almost equal size, and then they ask you about the properties of these smaller cubes, because they will be slightly different. You will understand how they will be different, because they will be slightly different. So they will ask you how many cubes will have only one side colored, how many cubes will have two side colored. You will see that how they can have different sides colored in different way. Okay, so they ask you this. This is a typical question that UPSC asks. Okay, now let's see how it gets divided. Let's see this. Can you see this? Yeah. Now see, it says imagine dipping a large red cube made up of 27 smaller cubes into a can of yellow paint. What do you notice? Basically what he is doing, instead of taking a large cube and then cutting it into small cubes, he is taking 27 small cubes and then joining them together to form a big cube. Okay, and then this big cube he will put in yellow paint. Okay, let's see how he does it. See, can you see? This is small 27 red cubes put inside paint and then pulled out. Okay, now if you see what will happen, if he now divides it back into those smaller cubes, what will happen? Some of the smaller cubes will have red color on the inside, correct? And some cubes will have more of yellow color, some cubes will have more of red color, correct? So that varies. Now he is now opening the cubes. So because the color was only on the outside, the inner cubes will be slightly different. This you have also observed when you used to have toys, correct? So toys used to be very colorful. Let's say you had a yellow color dolphin. Okay, in toys you can have a yellow color dolphin. Okay, so you had a yellow color dolphin, I had. Okay, so if you break it down, what happens? The inside part of it, is it still yellow? No, correct. The inside part of it may be black or some metallic color. So you understand that when you break that dolphin that was in yellow color, the inside part of it, some parts you will find that has some yellow and other parts are black. Some would you will find that it is completely black, whatever is inside. Some part you will find just on the, let's say, the surface part of it. So you will only get the yellow ones. So all these different combinations are possible. Same thing is happening here also. Now, see, let the video continue. So can you see different kinds of cubes are there? Some of them one side color, two side color, three side color, like this. Now it will pause itself. Okay, so it is going around. Yeah, can you see now? Now see. Now see this. Yeah. Now if you observe, just observe with me for right now. Can you see this one? How many sides of it are colored yellow? We are ignoring red. We are ignoring red for now, as if it is colorless or black. Okay, we are only focusing on yellow for ease of understanding. Only focusing on yellow. So how many have three sides as yellow? How many have three sides as yellow? 1, 2, 3. This one has three sides as yellow, correct? Now similarly, if you see this one, how many sides? This is 1, 2, 3. Three sides are colored yellow. Here if you see 1 and 2, two sides are colored yellow, correct? Then, so this is cubes which have two sides colored yellow. Now can you see this one? Only one side is colored yellow, correct? So this was three side that was colored yellow. Here you have two sides colored yellow. Here you have one side colored yellow, and you also have one more. Can you see the inside one? Correct. So it has no sides colored yellow. Are there any other type of cubes? No. So there are three sides colored cubes, then two sides colored cubes, then one side colored cubes, and then last no side colored cubes. Okay, understood? So these are the four possibilities. Then they ask you, what is the number of cubes with three sides colored? What is the number of cubes with no sides colored? So this is what their typical question looks like. Okay, fine. Now, first thing before this that you need to understand is this. Now here, of course, it was arranged in such a way, he gave you that there are 27 small cubes joined together, then put in inside that paint. Now, suppose they don't give you, then there must be some formula, something from which you can get the number of cubes. For example, what I am trying to say is, number of smaller cubes will be what? Number of smaller cubes will be equal to what? So number of smaller cubes, if you feel, they will be equal to volume of larger cube upon volume of smaller cube. This will be equal to number of smaller cubes. Now see how it works. For example, let's say this is of one length. So then this also is of one length and this also is of one length. They were joined together. So that means of the big one, of the big cube that you had length of sides as 3, 3, 3, 3. So volume क्या होगा? Length into breadth into height. All of them are 3. So 3 into 3 into 3 divided by, now volume smaller cubes. If you see, this is of length 1, this is also is of length 1, and this is also is of length 1. So all three are 1, 1, 1 because they are cubes. So all three sides will be equal only. That is a definition of cube. ये तीनों sides equal होती हैं. Okay. So volume of smaller cubes become 1 into 1 into 1. What you got? 3 into 3 into 3, that is 27. 1 into 1 into 1 is 1. So that means you will get 27 smaller cubes, as he also gave you while giving the illustration. Okay. So this is how you calculate number of small cubes. Now, so total number of small cubes is 27. Now you tell me how many cubes will be three side colored. This is the question. How many cubes will be three side colored? Now let's try to find out which of these is three side colored. So first, if you see this one right at the corner, this is colored on the three sides. Similarly, can you see that this also will have yellow color on that side? Correct. So this also is colored on three sides. Similarly, if you see this one, these two colors you can see, but at the bottom also it will be yellow. So this also is colored on three sides. Basically, can you see a pattern here? Which of these is three sides colored? You are getting three sides colored, one on each corner. One on each corner. Corner. How many corners do you have? You have 8 corners. So ultimately, you will have 8 such cubes which are colored on three sides. Then next is colored on two sides. Now see the pattern here also. So basically, if you see this one is colored on two sides. Similarly, if you see here also, then this one will also be colored on two sides. Then you can see this one colored on two sides. Can you find the pattern? The pattern is actually, it is one on each edge. Correct. On this edge, this one. On this edge, this one. On this edge, this one. So one on each edge. So basically, from this you can get how many edges do you have in here? You had 12 edges. So you have 12 such cubes which are colored on two sides. Then next. Now let's try to find out how many of them is one side colored. As you can see, this one is one side colored. And any other, this one also, if you can see somehow, this is also only one side colored. Correct. So now the pattern here is, if you see this entire face, this is three side. This is two side. Which is left? Just this one. So basically on each face you will have one cube that will be only one side colored. So this is one side is one on each face. That means how many faces do you have? We have 6 faces. So there will be 6 such cubes that are colored only on one side. Last is, which is not colored at all. If you can see, this is the only cube that is not colored on any side. Also, another way of getting to this is basically just counting the total number. So total is what? Total is 27 cubes, 27 smaller cubes. Of them, 3, 2, 1. This you subtract, you will get the number of cubes which are zero side colored. So this becomes 27 minus 8 minus 12 minus 6. That is 27 minus 26, 1. So one cube will be no side color. So this is how you do this visually. Of course, in the next video, we'll be learning about the formulas of how you get this. But this field is important because now they have started giving questions on cuboid also. Okay, so there you would need this field. Understood? Okay, that's it. Thank you.